Time to work on a new video. A plush collection? Are you kidding me? My fans are out of their mind if they think they're gonna get another one of those. Okay, I'll make one. Jesus Christ. Okay. What up, y'all? It's Scoob, and today we're going to be doing a Mario plush collection 2025, or just a plush collection in general. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff just in the room, just like starting off. I'll get it all out and like displayed or whatever. This is all the Bowser minions up here. Like there's way more, like there's more than this, but yeah, they're all in here. And then I at least have like 100 in my room, and then I have like all these. And just in case if anyone was wondering, I do store my plushies in these totes, and I do display some. Most of them are in here though, and I display them about what projects I'm doing. Like this is the FNAF like stuff, so I put all my FNAF stuff in there, and then I got all my Gangsta Life stuff in here. And the smaller ones, we kind of got like just like randoms. I think this is the Nintendo bin. One of these is the Mario bin, and then this other one's just like Disney and like indie horror. We are gonna start with Mario though. Forgot to mention we also have these two and that right there. Anyway, yeah, I'm about to get into it. We're gonna do it a little bit differently than 2023's collection. So I'm gonna start with like Mario's and all that, and then when it comes to Gangsta Life, we're actually that's gonna have its own section. So if you don't see Dry Bones or Black Yoshi or Nabbit like in the enemy section or the Yoshi section, that's why. By the way, this is the 10-year anniversary of collecting Mario plush. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, right over here in the first section we have Mario. Fire Mario. No hat Mario. Cat Mario. Cat Mario on medication. Stripped and mangled Dr. Mario. Tanuki Mario. Dead Mario. Other dog ripped off nose Mario.
Baby Mario.
Super Nintendo World Mario. And fat, overweight, gigantic Mario. So out of the last 2 years, the Mario section has grown by 1. Being this little guy. And don't act so surprised because I actually despise buying multiple of the same character. I know I have a whole bunch of Marios, but like, I don't like doing it to anyone else. Coming over here, we have Luigi's. Luigi. Cat Luigi. Fox Luigi, Dead Luigi, Super Nintendo World Luigi. Now time for characters that don't fit anywhere else, so they have to go here.
Greedy.
Slammer!
Hider.
And Polterpup, yay. Unfortunately for Luigi, his section is actually downgraded because EGAD, let's just say, he never got fixed after that plush collection video. Scott from the edit here, and a week later, but guess what? Yes, he's back. He's back. It's been like 4 years, not 4 years, but it's been like 2 years, and this man has not had a head for 2 years, but it's fixed. He's here now. Luigi's count remains. Moving on, we got the princesses. Princess Peach, and yes, that is the Squid Game blood. Daisy, and yes, that is also the Squid Game blood. Trust me, it comes off. Crusty, disgusting, old bit. Rosalina, dumpster fire, Rosalina, and that's it. What'd you expect? More? Yeah, I don't really touch this section at all, but it actually did lose one, which is, and can't forget. You'll remember. Okay, let's move on to the Yoshis. Fuck.
Toad. Toad but yellow. Toad but blue. Toad but blue but sitting down.
Toad but... Toad that's blue that has a backpack explorer Toad thingy. Captain Toad. Toadette. Captain Toadette. Toadsworth! And finally, for the best Toad of all time, we got Cat Thing. Cat Thing, yep, that's his name. Also, I gotta put this guy somewhere, so here's Cappy. Okay, now we can move on to the Yoshis. Okay, starting off, we got Green Yoshi. We got his little fluffy companion, Poochie. Next, we got Fat, Ugly, Disgusting, Dark Blue Yoshi. Then we got nicer looking but fat, green, Super Nintendo World Yoshi. And that's about it. You might be wondering where the rest of them are. Well, you're gonna have to wait till a few more categories because literally we used all the Yoshis for like all of our like side projects and stuff. Yes, we did not destroy them. Only one, and that's the purple Yoshi that we throw off the bridge in episode 4 of Gangsta Life. We never got that back, and it actually floated down the river, and we don't know where it is. It got lost. After the Yoshis, we're going to the Donkey Kongs, and then we're gonna go into the section I really don't want to get off that shelf.
First off, we got Donkey Kong, and Small Donkey Kong.
Also kind of lied about the next section. We actually got a few more before we get to that one. But first we got Wario.
We got
ripped apart Wario. Being himself. And they're two dumpster fire non-existent kids.
P.S. I don't care that Baby Wario was in a game.
By the way, just pulled him out of the catacombs. I found another Luigi. But yeah, he sucks, so whatever. Okay, I'm sorry. One more section before the enemies, okay? First, we got Bowser. Drunk Dad, Dry Bowser, Puppet Bowser. Might be curious why I own this. I honestly don't know. This might be one of my favorite plushies in the collection. This is actually the Super Nintendo World Bowser. I don't know. He just looks cool in my opinion. Finally, for the Bowsers, we have big, gigantic Daddy Bowser. And I know you guys might be mad. We actually removed a section. We are not doing a Bowser Jr. or Koopling section. The Kooplings will be with the Bowser enemies, and Bowser Jr. will be with Bowser. We got All-Star Bowser Jr., OG Bowser Jr., Dry Bowser Jr., and finally, Super Nintendo World Bowser Jr. This isn't just a regular one that's from California. I actually got all these guys at the Florida airport because I was going to Disney. But, this one is actually from Japan. Okay, time for the section that literally kills me. It kills me to do this section. First, we got Yonk Goomba, the All-Stars Goomba, the All-Stars Power Goomba.
Tiny Goomba.
Most people don't consider this a plush because it literally has no stuffing at all. But I am because it's my first custom I ever made. I made it when I was like 8, so. There we go, this guy. We got, this one I actually got recently because Sticks is, let's just say he's not doing too well. We got flying, we got flying but wing about to fall off. Hammer bro. In case you think you just slipped into a parallel dimension, no, these aren't All-Star, these aren't Santa or anything. These are actually bootleg plushies, but they look so good. They literally look identical to this guy. Next up, we got All-Star Cheep Cheep, which I got recently. Mr. Babam himself.
Fine addition to my collection.
We got Buzzy Beetle. Spiny, which really needs an upgrade. Can't forget about Lakitu.
Fine addition to my collection.
But no, seriously, guys. I searched and I searched and I searched. It took me like, seriously, 3 or 4 years to get this guy. He finally restocked on Amazon and I was so happy to finally get him. Besides a few like Buzzy Beetle and Bonsai, I pretty much have like all the Bowser enemies. Of course, they're not like all one thing, like all like Santa, All-Star, and all like 2010. But they are, it's like a combination of them all. But in conclusion, it basically comes out to all the ones that they made. Dog 3. Goof. Goo. King of the Ghosts. Another King of the Ghosts.
By the way, Boo is my favorite Mario enemy.
Does that mean Go? And his brother.
Mecha Koopa.
And Monty Mole, which is also a fine addition to my collection. This one I was hunting for years. Another strange addition to my collection, but it's really cool. This is a bootleg Ninja, which is like really, really cool. Piranha Plant. Here's another bootleg, which is a Tron Piranha Plant, but it's still really cool. I also have this Puppet Piranha Plant. Meant to put him in here sooner, but here's Kamek. Here's a bootleg Kamek. Here's Chief, which is a bootleg Bomber Bro plush, but it looks cool. And it also kind of looks like those guys from Super Princess Peach. So we kind of made him the general of the entire army. Boom, boom.
Bam, bam.
And I bet you guys thought I forgot about Spike's ball. If you're wondering where Spike is, he's actually in there. A lot of Bowser enemies are actually in there. So once we get to the Gangsta Life stuff, you'll be able to see them. Okay, now what you're waiting for. Here's Larry. Seen some things, Larry. Morton. Special Morton. Here's Wendy, which surprisingly enough, she's actually one of the most Kooplings that I have duplicates of. Here's Ugly Bootleg Trash. Here's Iggy. This thing. Discord mod Iggy. Roy, which is actually came to be my favorite Koopaling. Roy, if I pulled him out of a dumpster fire.
Cute little fluffy Lemmy.
Awkward team, Lemmy. Ludwig. Wigloo. Finally, we got the power-ups, and for my own sake, like being able to walk in my room, I'm not going to display all the plushies all together. I'm actually going to pack these guys up after this, and then I'll move on to the next section or whatever. But, yeah. Sorry if you came here for that. For the big, grand thingy, I don't care. We got the super mushroom, the what-up mushroom, the super mushroom, to the Mario banana block shell, and that's about it. I know you might be wondering, since some of these characters are like one-off or they're like their own special character, will you buy like another one just for your army? I say maybe, because like Dry Bones, I only want there to be one Dry Bones, and it's the main character, like one of my main characters. Characters like Officer Dumbass, though, I might end up buying another Spike or buying another plush related to that so they could go in the army. Out of the entire collection, my favorite part is definitely Bowser's Army. I love this because I'm able to extend it. All the rest of them, I've already got all these characters. They're already been established. I've had them for a while. But the Bowser minions is actually what I've been able to like work on. And that's really cool. Especially with these new bootleg companies making these plushies like those Shy Guys over there. You know what time it is. Okay, with an hour of work, this is clear. Let's go. By the way, we're going by game. Here, we're gonna start with Basic Freddy,
Bunny Bun. Chica the chicken.
Foxy, Toy Freddy,
Toy Chica. Toy Bunny.
the Spooky Puppet, Withered Freddy. I was the first. Yarr. Okay, moving on to like the saddest collection of all time, which is FNAF 3, which literally all I have is Springtrap. And I don't care what y'all say, he's the best character in that game. All the rest of them are irrelevant. I don't want to care. Fight me in the comments, I don't care. Okay, time for FNAF 4. We got Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Bonnie, this ugly Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Foxy. Then we have my boy Nightmare Eon. And a better custom, which is Nightmare Fredbear.
And if you want to get specific, we got Fredbear, because technically he was in the Bite of 83, which was also in that game, so...
I'm also going to put Spring Bonnie here. He's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, by the way, if you're wondering why he's so yellow, it's because of the light. If you go put him in normal light, he looks perfectly fine. For sister location, we got Circus Baby,
Fun Time Freddy,
Fun Time Foxy,
Laura,
and a decently okay custom. So I got entered right here. I kind of like added some wires onto him. Just made him look like a little bit more wacky. I also gave him these cool claws because to make him look more intimidating. Because it's entered, he's not supposed to be like, ooh. Oh yeah, by the way, newsflash, if you thought FNAF 3 was bad enough, this is probably the worst. I know I'm probably gonna get shot like for this, but I only have one plush for FNAF 6, and that is a horrible attempt at Molten Freddy. So yeah, I don't really care. Yeah. If you were curious why I made him, it's because he's probably one of my favorite FNAF characters, strangely enough. Skipping over FNAF 7 because technically the majority of them are already in that. We got Help Wanted, which surprisingly enough, I do have a plush with, and that's Glitch Trap. Now we're probably going into the biggest like section of the FNAF plushies, which is Security Breach. And I do love that game actually. Okay, I know you're probably gonna be mad that I said that, but I actually enjoyed Security Breach. And it's not my first rodeo with FNAF either. I've been playing these games for years. I will agree with you on the gameplay though. The gameplay was a little bit meh, but I love the environment. The Pizzaplex was awesome. But here's Glamrock Freddy.
Glamrock Chica,
The old bass player. The old bass player. The old bass player. And the new bass player, which is, you know, the best FNAF character of all time. Roxanne Wolf. Here's Vanny. We got the Endo. And for some reason, everyone's favorite character. I made a poll, and I don't know how this guy almost tied with DJ Music Man, but yeah, he did. Speaking of the DJ, here he is. Here's Sun and Moon. Grandpappy. Better looking, but still unused Grandpappy. Here we got my first FNAF custom, which is Shattered Chica, Shattered Roxanne, and Monty. And just in case, if you're wondering, I still have his legs. It's in a bag with a whole bunch of dysfunctional FNAF parts. Moving on to Ruin, we have Ruined Freddy, Ruined Roxy, which really needs some maintenance. Ruined Chica, which is probably one of my favorite customs I've ever made. And Ruined Monty. And luckily for him, I still have his legs. They're right here. Following, we got Eclipse. Here's the official Funko Eclipses. And yes, I do have these two. I've had them since I made Ruin, but I made this guy way before these came out. So I just felt like I needed to use this guy for Ruin. I think he personally looks better than both those. And y'all thought I was done with the base players. We got another bass player, which, let's just say, he didn't do too well at Monty Golf. Here's Mexus. Finally, the Mimic. Think I'm done with Security Breach and Ruin? Nope. Here's the biggest plush I own, and probably the biggest custom I will ever make. And if this is definitely, out of any of these plushies, this is definitely a plush I'm never going to remake. Because this was pure hell to create. Which is the Blob, and he's been through a lot. Yep. Last time y'all saw him, he looked a bit something like this, and now I've updated his face. I actually did it for Security Breach because I thought the face looked terrible. Yeah, I actually do have all the animatronics. Some of them are probably falling off, like Mangle especially, but Circus Baby, Chica, a lot of them are surprisingly still intact. This is probably, I think this is the second custom I made. I made him right after Chica. So that's probably why he's really bad. Just found these. Here's some bass player dysfunctional parts. And we're not done with FNAF yet because we got another game that I forgot to do. And yeah. So here's Freddy Frostbear, FNAF AR. This game is so relevant at this point. Like, I just want to kind of get rid of these characters. Not him. I like him. But this Chica sucks. I just want to throw it away, to be honest. We also have Balloon Chica, which I saw it was a rare, and they had an exclusive one in the set, so I was like, I know I have to grab that one. To top off the FNAF section, we have, like, the human characters. Of course, you're not going to see, like, the main guys, like Mario, Luigi, and stuff like that, the people that were in Security Breach, because they are already in the Mario Plush collection itself, and Black Yoshi and Dry-Bones are in the Gangsta Life collection. So, right now, this is William Afton. We actually technically haven't seen him yet, but let's just say you'll be seeing him pretty soon. Then we got Vanessa, which this kind of looks like a normal Princess Peach besides her crown missing. And I did actually make her eyes green, which is very unnoticeable, but it's just a little reference. And this one's pretty expected. Here's Wendy from Ruin. When I mentioned earlier that I have a lot of copies of Wendy, this is my other copy. This is the one that's specifically made for FNAF projects. She actually still has the blood from Ruin on her. Not to mention we have the 42-hour limited edition Monty U2's plush. Yes, he counts. He actually does have a bit of stuffing in him. Now we're gonna go into Nintendo characters. Okay, with that gone, let's begin. We got Breath of the Wild Link, Zelda with a forehead. You thought it was going to be Mr. Floppy Neck, but it's actually Toon Link. Toon Zelda. Here he is, everyone's favorite Roy victim. Here's Marth. Here's Marth with red hair. Oh, wait. Oh, this is a completely different character. My bad. Here's another Marth. Oh, God, I keep messing this up. Here's some of my favorite plush in my collection, which is Fox and Falco. And even with me clearing out a lot of my plush, my Pokemon still stayed. Well, at least some. But here's Pikachu. Snorlax, which I hate this guy because he's battery powered and he always goes off in the middle of the night. Here's a really weird one. We got Detective Pikachu. Squirtle. And your favorite Russian Squirtle. We also got a mini Bulbasaur. Here's Jigglypuff. Over here we have Kirby, Meta Knight, Chef Kawasaki, Waddle Doo, and Cool Kirby. And you might be wondering, where's Dedede? Here's Isabelle. And finally, for the Nintendo section, we have... Hey, it's Scoob again from the edit. One thing I want to add, I ended up making a Samus plush. You can probably tell what this is from if you've been staying on track with my channel. But yeah, Samus is done, so you can count her in my collection. And there we have it for my Nintendo stuff. Like I said, this is not all of it. Some of it's inside the Gangsta Life bin. Some of it's like in other things. But this is the majority of it, I think. Yeah, I kind of want to expand on this, get more stuff. Maybe some Pikmin. Now it's time for the most hyped up bin in the entire collection. Starting off hot, we got Black Yoshi, Dry Bones, Nabbit, Bill, Senior Mouse, Sticks. Here's a stump Black Yoshi, Detective Harrison, Officer Dumbass, Porky Pepper. Here's the fan favorite, Football Fred, Rookie, Officer Fish Brady, Black Yoshi's neighbor, Pink Yoshi, Shady Yoshi. Here's Ballless Yoshi. Here's this guy. He technically doesn't have a name, but he was in a Gangsta Life scene. He's in the casino with Trumpet, by the way. Here's the landlord, Shag and Mickey, Leonard. Here's the mayor of the city. I know you guys probably don't know who this is, but he's coming soon. Yeah. Here's Blooper. Yes, he was in Gangsta Life. He shows up at the casino scene with Trumpet. I'm actually gonna go through all the guys that were at the casino scene. So here's Blooper, the Thwomp,
Benny and the Hype Machine.
Petey Piranha, Tingle, and finally Cubert. Here's also Chef Figment. He does appear in the final episode. Go watch that if you haven't seen it. And I bet you guys thought I was gonna include it. And yes, I am going to include it. Here she is. Here's all the plushies that we use in Gangsta Life Season 1, minus him. But overall, like, if you're wondering where, like, Trumpet and all those guys are, those are puppets. They're not plushies, so that's why they're not here. They're, like, the other half of the show is filled with a whole bunch of puppets, like Keisha and all of them, Dr. Brown. So they're all, like, they're just not here because they're not plushies. First off, we got Mega Man. We got Huggy. We got better looking Huggy. You got Mommy Longlegs, or the Devil's Creation, if you watch the show that's not posted anymore. By the way, speaking of not posted anymore, if you ever wanted to see any of my like non-posted videos, I'm actually going to be putting them on Scoob Archived. It's like a side channel. You don't really have to subscribe. It's just something you can kind of go to if you ever wanted to watch something that I deleted off my main channel, because I kind of like to keep my main channel like clean, if you know what I mean, or like nice, like nicely organized or whatever. And sometimes I have series that just like I don't complete, and I just end up deleting them completely or just like privating them. So if you want to watch those, make sure to go to my channel, ScoobTube Archive. I'll link it down in the description. Cool. Here's Monster Huggy, Deformed Poppy. We got Kissy. We got this Kissy. We got this thing. We got my favorite Poppy Playtime plush, which is PJ Pugapillar. This is not the re-release. This is the original, and I like the original because I like the way they did the fur. The newer ones are kind of bad, and this one actually looks accurate. So I like this one way more. So wrapping up the indie horror part, we got this Huggy, which is just a basic Huggy like that one over there, but it's just like over here because it's cooler. I got a Rambly the raccoon. This is a makeshift version. Then this is also a makeshift Truffle Toot from Garten of Bam Bam. And then down here, we also have the U2's Rambly and Molly. Okay, moving on to our like final like video game section really. We got Angry Birds. So we got Red and we got Chuck. We also got Chuck. And we got Handsome Chuck. We also got my personal favorite, which is Leonard. After that, we're moving on to TV shows and like programs and stuff. This is Nickelodeon stuff. We got Hey Arnold. We got No Pants Chucky. Anger.
Mike Wazowski.
Someday we'll find it. Rainbow Connection. Now, if you're a longtime viewer of the show, you might remember this guy. This is Stuffy the Dragon. He actually appeared in like those earlier videos that I made with Cletus. Not ScoobTube Season 1, but like the stuff I did back in 2020. You're a real OG if you remember this guy. He was kind of like a knockoff Doofy the Dragon. Alright, now we're moving on to like some really obscure stuff. I don't even know if this one even counts. We got Grogu. Half of him is plush. We got the Cheshire Cat, which is the last of the Disney stuff. Psych, you can't forget about the best character of all time. The King of Halloween. Now we're going into territory where I don't even know who they are at this point. We got this alligator, this frog, this dog, and this ball. Soccer Ball Bill. Hey, guess what? You remember me? I was right before football net, but guess what? I'm going to be the last guy. Wait, sorry, Soccer Ball Bill. I'm going to have to leave you there. I actually got one more plush, and we got this hedgehog. I don't really know where he's from. I kind of found him out of a dumpster, but yeah, he's a part of my collection now. I don't really, like, he just doesn't really fit anywhere, and he's not really a brand or anything, but, like, yeah, we got these guys and stuff. Like, I think he'll just go with these random animals, if you know what I mean. He is a hedgehog, after all. I know you guys might be mad at me doing that, but last time I froze him. He wasn't even part of the collection last time. Anyways, here's the others section. yeah, this is pretty much it. These guys kind of suck, but whatever. Anyways, guys, I think that is gonna wrap it for today. I have exactly 286 plushes. Wow, that's crazy. That totally wasn't like an edit or anything. But yeah, it's getting bigger. It's way bigger. It's way bigger than like a few years ago. It's probably thanks to the FNAF stuff. Mario has kind of grown, but not as much as FNAF. FNAF basically quadrupled. Last time I had like maybe 20 at most. Now I have over 60. So that's a little bit concerning. But it's gonna keep growing. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. Have a great time. This was just posted for fun. Anyways, yeah. 10-year anniversary of collecting Mario plushies. Yeah.